Mic check, mic check. Mortal Masters Podcast. Your host, Mania, of course. I got a special guest across from me, Menia Chester. How you doing?
I'm
Clap it up
doing
for you.
great. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. I can't complain. I can't
Great.
complain. If I could, I probably still would. So, uh, I'm doing some installments. So, welcome to the show. I'm doing some promotion. I would say I wouldn't call it promotion because I like art. I am uh, I am painting pictures with people who also paint pictures. Okay,
Awesome. I
we'll
love
call it that.
that.
And one thing I do, and Karen is the one who gets on me a lot. I'm big on sports, so sometimes I'll promote a sporting event, and I have like a good promotion thing for it. So just recently, we had a clash of the clashes where alumni teams we had a playoff. It was a
Sure.
playoffs, and what I did was to restore that feeling of like when people played at a certain time and maybe nostalgic feeling of just the era of basketball. I went ahead and interviewed a bunch of legends from different schools on their
Nice.
career. And what
Nice.
that did was like, some people's stories kind of overlapped each other. Like we
Sure.
played that person, this is what happened. Then
Uh-huh.
they said, no, we played and this is what happened. So it's like back and forth banter and all that stuff. And it was just a good mesh, but it restored that feeling of let me go see what these guys can do. Let me go see how these guys
Sure.
gonna
I
play.
understand
Almost
that.
like we back in school again, right?
Yeah.
And so when I got done, I said, well, I can know. Even though I didn't speak to Karen, I said I know Karen somewhere is punching the air right now because I
Yes.
just I just
Welcome to Mortal Masters
I
Podcast.
did a bunch of episodes with basketball. So I said I want to do the same thing with arts.
Oh,
What I
nice.
want to do is right before Arts and the Hearts, I wanted to get on a few acts, a few talents, bands, singers, whatever, and kind of not only get their stories in a sense, but just get what art means to them, what
Sure.
they do, how does it feel to perform, the ins and outs, just little nuances that you would do. This, nothing too
Right.
major. And I said that'd be great to do because there's some people that think arts and hearts are only for food. Some people think it's for only for music. They
Sure.
don't know it's
Right.
like a
That's
bunch of
correct.
things. So without further ado, my first question I want to ask you is different than I asked anybody else. What does art mean to you?
Oh, wow. That's a great thing. Well, art is very special to me because I do so many things. Some of my friends label what I do the art of Menia. So art is very special to me. I am not a person who can paint, but I do dabble in photography. But as a vocalist, um, art is how I make my way through the world.
Mm, I like that.
And my name Menia is actually it's African, and I studied in high school. I had to figure out what my name meant, so a lot of us did, and so it was cool. It's a derivative of El Menia. It's
Mm.
it's a city near Cairo, Egypt, and it's the birthplace of modern art and agriculture. So
Wow.
that is the perfect name for me, you know?
Clap it up for that. That's dope. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
it's perfect for me because I have a background in agriculture. I also have
Yeah.
a farm. So
I've
I
heard. I
sing to my
heard.
chickens, and my neighbors probably like, oh my gosh, because when you live in a rural area, the sound reverberates. So I'm sure they hear me like singing to my chickens on
Yeah.
Sunday mornings or whatever. So
What's funny is, you mentioned all that, and I can tell you do a lot of things, but one thing I think stands out is that, yeah, I know we'll get into like the performing aspect of things you do, but I look at a lot of things as art. And you
yeah,
mentioned even having a farm. I feel like farming is art in a sense.
very much
You just
so.
mentioned singing to your chickens, so you're using art on top of art on top of art anyway, but
Yes,
there's a lot of art in that answer you gave me
yes,
alone.
yes,
So I
yes.
like that. And even in amongst farming, with me not thinking about it as art, now that I'm speaking to you and I'm thinking about all the different things that you can do with
Hmm.
farming and where it derives from and things like that,
Right,
there's definitely an art to that. There's definitely an
right.
art to that. So I want to start with just where are you from? You from Augusta? You from somewhere
No,
else?
I'm originally from Milledgeville, Georgia.
Milledgeville. Is that the place where you get tickets at? Like you get the high tickets? Like they give you get like if you're doing 2 miles over, it's like $500 regardless.
No,
Oh, that's Millen.
yeah, that's
That's
Millen.
Millen.
Milledgeville
Millen.
is near Macon.
Oh, that's way out there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. What's that like?
Growing up in Milledgeville?
Yeah, no, I never been there. I'm not even from Georgia, so just I'm
Oh,
asking
okay.
for
Milledgeville was the first capital of Georgia. So
first capital.
Yep.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
First capital, Georgia. And a little bit of Georgia history. They moved the capital to Atlanta after the Civil War because Millersville didn't have a railroad. So my whole family lives there. Um, and it's a very black and white society there.
Is
So
that pun intended or no pun intended?
kind of.
Okay, just to stop, could I ask that question?
Yes, it kind of. And I'm getting to my point here. My entire family is from there. My parents' side, my mother's side, and my father's side. And so I grew up being exposed to my great grandma and my grandmother. So the cooking, I do teach cooking classes and whatnot. So all those things make up what I do. And then hearing them sing in the kitchen or just
Hmm.
hum, and I'm like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. And being in the church, growing up in the church in a small town, you get to hear music differently. And then when I went off to college, I went to graduated from Florida A&M University.
Okay.
So I went to school on a music scholarship there.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you. Like,
Yeah.
I guess this last 4 or 5 days, me interviewing everybody who's going to be art and hearts and art, I didn't realize that a lot of I'm saying your community, so I'm saying
Yeah.
y'all. I'm just saying y'all
Yeah,
'cause I'm
sure.
not musically inclined. Besides listening to it, but I listened to a lot of y'all talk, and y'all actually studied music,
Yeah.
and I don't know why I'm so like enamored by that or amazed by that. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I am because in college, I literally never knew anybody that did anything with arts or music.
Really? Oh,
So when
yeah.
I hear, I'm like, oh, you went to school for that too?
Yeah.
So I didn't know. So talk about, I guess, that as well, at some point. But I think just knowing that you studied music also, to me, it's going to detail and tell me that you got a different perspective on art anyway, just because you studied
Right.
it.
Well, as a kid, I took piano lessons and then I started playing the flute. And I was that kid that people got to sing at their weddings. I'm like, oh my gosh. I listen to myself now and then I think about where I was then. I'm like, well, you let a sixth grader sing at your wedding. Wow.
Did you
But
sound bad?
I didn't think I sound bad, but I sounded like a little girl, a little kid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or I played the flute at many, many weddings. And so, growing up, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I studied music, but I majored in education just in case that music career didn't work out.
I like that just in case.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to have a fallback, my
I
dad
have a
said.
quick question though,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to skip past nothing. But you said you was young and singing at weddings, but I want to go back to like when did you or was it pointed out that hey she can sing?
Oh, well, I wasn't I was like 14 before anybody said, "Oh my goodness, she can really, really sing."
Mm.
One day in church, I was in the junior choir, and so was my brother. And the person that was supposed to lead a particular song was going to be absent from church on that Sunday. And someone said, the choir director, he said, "Who can sing? Who's going to take the lead?" And my brother, who's was trying to be funny, said, "My sister can do it." And I said, "I sure can. Give me the mic." And so from that point on, I was never in the background, just singing
Mm.
background. I was always leading a song. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do because when you're singing and you have the ability, and as a child, this is, you have the ability to make somebody cry with the words that come out of your mouth. It's a huge responsibility. But, when you start off with his eyes on the sparrow and those kinds of songs are so emotional for some people. And I knew if I could evoke that emotion at church, maybe I could do it at a wedding, maybe I could do it. And it just some of us are put on this earth to help people with our art,
Yeah.
and I felt like that was my calling.
Well, I had another singer on as well, and I asked her the same thing. I asked you like, what did it mean at that time to be so young, but to be able to with your voice pull those kind of emotions from grown adult people. And I don't know if it
Mm.
matters because they're adults, but my thing is there's songs that you may be singing that you haven't experienced yet.
Oh,
It's something
absolutely.
different when you can experience and you can like I can pull from there. I had that breakup. I had that letdown and then
Right.
faith got me here. You can have that, but you being a young kid, like you may have not been through it yet.
Well,
So how can
yeah,
you?
I had to kind of ask what those things meant. When I was very, very young, I used to love singing stuff that was on the radio. And I didn't quite know what some of those songs meant, like the song Juicy Fruit. I was thinking that they were singing about
The gum?
the gum.
Man, come
But
on. I got just from my pocket right now too.
So I was thinking that we're singing about the gum. And as an adult, I'm like, "Ooh, that's not, that's not about the gum." But I could sing that song. But my mom would be like, "Will you please stop singing that?" I didn't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah,
She
that's
never
funny.
said
That is funny.
that was inappropriate, but So as a child, you don't know what you're singing. And I would definitely ask one of my aunts, like, what does it mean? What does his eyes on the sparrow mean? I don't understand. Because I hadn't experienced that.
Hmm.
And so as an adult, I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it now. I could sing the notes
Yeah.
to the songs, perfect notes, but to have that feeling behind it, that takes experience.
What about like within like your peers in school, like because you sung in church, right?
Hmm.
But outside of that, did you ever sing or perform or do any kind of like
I was in the band in high school, so I really didn't do a lot of singing and chorus and everything because I was always in band and I was pretty good. So I was always competing statewide,
Mhm.
national wide, or whatever, nationwide. And so I really didn't do a lot of that. So it didn't matter to me because I was making money,
Yeah, yeah.
be it $20, but I was making money singing. So
Yeah,
it
you was
didn't
getting
matter.
booked since you was a teenager.
Yeah.
Probably before that.
Yeah.
So, all right, and talk about even at the weddings, like what was it like to sing at a wedding? How did that feel? How did you prepare for that back then?
Oh, I was very lucky because my godfather was a wedding planner and he had which also contributed to my art because he also had a floral business and still does. So I had an opportunity to hone my skills as a florist from a very young age.
Hmm.
And so, you'd go fix the flowers, do this, this, and this. He would have me speaking in front of everyone, hey, welcome to the wedding of blah, 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 blah. And then it's showtime. I have to sing. So I had different jobs, and then I had to sing. So um, at some point, it just became part of the
Yeah,
show. It's part
makes
because
sense.
it's
It
part
makes
of what
sense.
we had
Yeah,
to do. But as I got older, I started to really understand the words that I'm singing, and I'm like, oh wow, that's so amazing. I understand why these people are crying, like
yeah,
why this
yeah.
lady is crying in front of this man. So
What about like so you singing and what have you, but what about the mechanics part of the singing? Like when did you start learning that? And what I mean by that is like I've been saying this the whole time. I'm say the same thing. I don't know if some people say they don't know what I mean when I'm saying this, though. But I'm just gonna say it. If you know, then let me
right,
know. But when I say mechanics, when I look at people sing sometimes and they want to change a tune or they kind of riffing or they making a word like I'm gonna call a word squiggly. I don't know
right.
what else to
Oh,
call it,
okay, I
but they
understand.
moving their bottom jaws a little bit, and I
Yeah,
heard it was like the way you breathe, the way you move, your hand movements, and all that stuff can uh dictate slash determine slash help slash change the pitch of voice and how you singing and
sure.
stuff like that. Like
So
how do
when
y'all
did I
learn
learn?
that?
Okay, so when did I learn the intonation and all that stuff?
That's a good word. I don't know what
I
that means, but yes, good word.
exactly
Intonation.
what you said. The squigglies, the hand, all
Okay,
those things.
squigglies. There we go.
When I was in college, I had a vocal coach. I took voice lessons. I've taken voice lessons for most of my life because there's certain things like if I want to sing opera, if I want to sing jazz, if I want to sing the different things, you just need a little fine tuning. I
Hmm.
don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I had my first vocal coach when I got to college, and that's how I got introduced to jazz, actually, taking jazz studies. And we had a little jazz band. And so I was very Whitney Houston, very, very, very Whitney Houston. Sounded just like her. And so my jazz studies teacher was like, you can't sing with us until you learn who you are. And so that's when I started taking voice lessons and then learning the different ways. He made me stand in front of a mirror
Mm.
and just look at yourself. What are you singing? I was just singing words,
Yeah, you just
the right
reciting.
note, but just words. And so he was like, "You haven't understood heartbreak. Don't sing that song. Wait until you understand it." So "My Funny Valentine" is one of those songs that I really sing. I get it now. You make me smile. You know, your looks are laughable, unforgettable.
Yeah.
Those things. It's like, oh wow. So I started listening to the lyrics so that I could really understand it. And if it was something that I just felt uncomfortable singing, like sometimes the lyrics can be kind of raunchy to songs or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And one thing my vocal coach was like, if you can't sing it in front of your parents, don't sing it. So I never have. But you start to pay attention and listen and really feel what it is. But when that first heartbreak came, I was like, I get this. I get it.
Did that change at all, like your heart rate? Not to stay on that, but did that change like how you were singing certain songs or what certain songs meant to you at that
Yes.
point?
Because, I'm the type of person, because I know so much music, so many songs, I use that to get through. Like most people do. But if it's just something that's just, uh, that just, I don't know, I just turn the music on and,
Yeah.
and play some Earth, Wind and Fire, or play something that is going to make me feel better.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So a common theme in a lot of the interviews I've done recently, just in the last few days, and pertaining to arts and performing, that I realized that I didn't know beforehand, and I guess it's like I said, it's this y'all world. So I'm entering y'all world at this point. But you mentioned a little while ago, jazz, opera, classical, all this. I didn't even know that as singers, you guys sing multiple genres, or
Oh, absolutely.
and I say that because being a fan of certain music. So for me, and I'm just as a novice or people like me, I represent a big percentage. I'm pretty sure of people who don't know music that well. You might ask us about singing. Ask about singing. My first thing is R&B. That's it.
Right.
In my mind, that's only singing. That's the only singing I know because of my household and
Right.
what I haven't studied.
Right.
When I first knew who Jesse Norman was, I'm like, okay, I didn't know who she was, and I finally started seeing. I was like, oh damn, okay, she's somebody for real.
Sure.
Would have
Sure.
never known that until I took that step forward and tried to do work on that
Uh-huh.
particular person. Never knew nothing about opera. It was always funny to me because in most movies it's
Like, what
funny.
are they saying? Oh my
Yeah, it's
goodness.
just
This
funny.
sounds
You
horrible.
see a big guy singing and just have, and then when I was younger, they
Right.
had opera commercials. So you hear like Figaro, Figaro. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means. That's what
Yeah.
we say. And so like talking to people from that world, and I realized how much that that aspect or that genre of music, opera, I'm talking about classical, I'm talking about, helps
Sure.
in so many different areas because everybody felt like that's they had to do that in order to get to where they was at. So they studied classic, they did the opera, being in the opera. Like I guess,
Right.
and if you can't speak to that, like what does that do helping you wise, like performance wise or just
Oh,
voice
for
wise?
me, I am from rural Georgia, and I had a very southern accent. And sometimes I didn't enunciate the way that I needed to to enunciate. And I needed to learn to enunciate when I was singing, because that helps you with pitch. It helps you to stay in tune and all those things. I took it a little too far because because when I would go home, I couldn't flip the switch and
Mm,
sing those songs in the church where I grew up. I don't know if you know what line in the hymn is, but
not at
that
all.
is very it's uh during slavery times, a lot of people couldn't read. They didn't have Bibles. They didn't have hymn books. So it's like a call and response in the church. So the deacons in the church would say the words, a sing song, the words of the song, but it's kind of difficult for most people to understand. But it's a beautiful music thing. And also, I don't know if you've seen this movie with Harriet. It's about Harriet. It was with Cynthia Erivo or whatever in there. So they talk about some of the history of lining the hymns. It was also a way for slaves to give messages to other people who
Okay.
were on the run. So being in that, I when I came back from college, I would try to, come home and try to sing it. And my grandfather would be like, girl, whatever that you need to loosen up or something, because now you've become uptight. Now we can't understand what you're saying when you're
Yeah.
singing because I wasn't talking like this. I wasn't relaxed. Now I can flip flop between the two because I also sing country music.
Okay.
So when you got to be able to use your accents in different ways or whatever, but you do need to be able to enunciate so that you can keep that pitch right, but you don't want to be so
Yeah.
because it doesn't make sense.
No, that make a lot of sense as you explain that. I am curious though. As somebody that studied music, what are some difference you see in people like you who have studied music and be a part of it, make music, create this art, versus someone who is just a fan of the music? Like I might just listen to it, and I only say that because I feel like y'all perspective on the actual art of making music, but not go from anything from the singing down to
Hmm.
performing and everything, is just more detailed than ours.
Sure.
And I always wonder, like, what about what you guys learn or know or face kind of sets y'all apart in that way?
Well, I think for me, I can only speak about me, but I think because I did study music, I understand the origins of where music comes from. Certain music comes from because you said you like R&B. Well,
Yeah,
that comes from the church. Everything comes from the church. If you listen to R&B, blues, R&B is rhythm and blues.
yeah.
So if you listen to early rhythm and blues, you go, oh, that sounds like a church song. If you keep going back, oh, jazz really comes from the church. Oh my God, everything that we create um, comes from one place, and we just branch out and add different things to it. So I think knowing and understanding where the music comes from, that's the difference. But we all love it the same.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think for me, I was talking to some people the other day, and I think one thing that they mentioned as far as like learning music is you look at even these movies like you can have somebody that's talented, but they just got a talent,
Sure.
right? And then you have somebody that's kind of, I guess the word would be like anointed, I guess, or like
Gifted.
it's their purpose, they
Yeah.
gifted, but they go through the steps to kind of learn everything they're
Right.
doing. And I guess everybody's famous thing to use is drumline, I guess, because he didn't know how to read music, right?
Right.
But he can play the drums,
Right.
but couldn't read for nothing. But if
Right.
he can emulate it,
Right.
and I look at that as like, that's still art, but I look at that as like that the dedication to art as well. Like I think
Right.
that's super important.
I
Like,
mean, an artist like Aretha Franklin, she couldn't read music, but she could play that piano. So it doesn't
mm,
matter. um, when you're first studying music, it's like, oh, you have to learn how to study music. You have to be able to read and this and this. It doesn't matter because that's not what it's about. It's about expressing yourself. And I'm on stage expressing myself. Hopefully, I'll touch somebody with where I'm coming from because my goal in life is to share my art, whether that's baking, whether that's um, floral arrangements or singing, whatever it is. I want to share my
pick your
art.
mic back this way, just a little bit, no, towards this way, right there.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to be able to share that part of me. And it takes a lot out of you when you are vulnerable. And that's another thing I learned when you're on stage to let your vulnerability show. Ooh, okay, my heart was broken. I'm supposed to sing this song and let you see my emotions. That's the difference, as a person who is, singing or playing an instrument on stage, you are open to the world.
Talk. Well, I want to stay on that for a little bit. That just seems interesting to me. Being vulnerable and kind of just letting loose. So you experiencing a heartbreak. You might be going through a heartbreak,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, you have to perform a heartbreak song, right?
Uh-huh.
How do do you fully embody that to the point where as you performing, you are refilling these things that you already been feeling all
Sometimes
day? And then how did that relate to the performance and also you? Like, are you crying or performing? Can people
I try
feel it
not to
more?
cry because, my nasal passages get clogged up. But okay, so if you're singing at a funeral and you know the person, oh my goodness.
Mm.
You know, I've had to sing at um many funerals for family members, and I had to hold back my tears. And then sometimes I just like with my aunt, I just let it go, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it through this song, but I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you ask the church, "Hey, can somebody help me? Because I'm full right now."
Well, one of the differences between this interview and some other ones I did is not that you don't ever sing with them, but you are here as a solo.
Hmm.
It's just you.
Yeah.
And I've been doing like kind of bands. Describe the difference, if you will, like performing solo and then performing with a band, if you have
Oh, you mean like singing background vocals or?
whatever that is for
Oh,
you.
okay. Uh, sure. When you are singing solo, it's you up front. You got to show all of your emotions. People are looking at you. If you're singing background vocals for someone, that person is shining. I'm just a background. I need to blend in. So I'm not trying to be out front. I'm not
Hmm.
trying to do anything. I'm just blending in. Unless you have a moment for you to shine. But
But is that I'm glad you said it because the last guess I had said something I wanted to get you to touch on that. When you do sing a background vocal, is it expected or slash is it should it be known or should that be a thing? Whereas if for some reason that main act needs to come off for 5 minutes, the background vocalist should be able to still cover the show.
it depends on some background vocalists are just that. They sing background and they don't want to be out front. Some people like me, I could do both. But there's some people that can't. The band would then just take over and play,
Okay, okay.
for an intermission, and then the background vocals can still be there if they don't feel like they need to come out front. But there are some people that do want to come out front. Some of them don't. I have plenty of friends that just want to stay right there.
I actually know some people like what instrument they play, and I wanted you to expound if you can and talk about how if I know you play some instruments, of
Uh huh.
course, but singing is I'm assuming your primary
Yeah.
instrument.
Flute used to be my primary instrument.
But now, so you did play the flute a lot.
I did play the flute. Yes,
You still can play it right now.
I still can play.
What made you get into that? Get into like playing the flute?
Playing the flute
Yeah.
because I wanted to be in the band and I liked the way it sounded and it paid my way through college and yeah. So yeah, I was even in a flute choir, if that makes any sense to anybody. But so you have
So
different
it's a
types of
bunch of
flutes.
y'all just playing flutes and at
Different types
different
of flutes,
tones.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
uh-huh.
so all right, so different type of flutes. So it's not just one flute. It's
No,
like
there's a piccolo, which is a higher pitched, it's a smaller instrument. I also play piccolo. And then there's a bass flute, which is huge, an alto flute.
wow. Okay, I
So
tried.
just like a choir.
Yeah, I tried to play the flute when I was younger. I said music wasn't for me, man. Just
Yeah.
all the holes and stuff. It just seemed cool to have, you know.
It's not too late. It's
Nah.
not too late. Get some congas.
I will tell you this. I would love. This is for real, for real. I would love to learn how to play the piano. I don't know why. I guess I'm a smooth guy. I just like to play the piano. I feel like that's what I would do. I would play
Well,
the
you know
piano.
you know who can teach you how to play
I
piano?
asked her already, and she be playing games. If your name is Karen Gordon, she be playing games. Oh, I don't be teaching you that.
You have to pin her down, but she'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one instrument I would like to play. If I could
Yeah,
pick one, it'd be the piano. I feel like it's a cool flex to see it and just
it
start playing.
is.
Like that's
It
just
is.
amazing to me.
And you asked me a question earlier, how does studying music help you? Well, when you're able to read music and you're singing with the band, you can say, "Hey, here are my charts. This is what key I'm singing in, da da da, da," all the things. And you know when you're singing in the right key and you know when you're singing in the wrong key. And if you need to be able to, may not be able to play a full set for yourself or whatever, but you can at least play the melody, which is what you need to be singing. So
Mm.
you know what you should be singing. You can read the notes. So that was very helpful for me and has been very helpful for me.
Speaking of like just the idea of learning music and what it can do for you, as as you got older and you in high school and you sing at these weddings and you getting booked here and there to do certain venues and events with singing or even playing instruments or whatever. Um, what that's like how how hard was it, I guess, to try to compete with other peers, if that makes sense? Like, I don't know if y'all do competitions or if y'all do like I hear like it's nationwide events and stuff like that for arts. That's what I hear in Augusta. Like, oh, I was in this choir and we did this, we went here, or I was in this group and we went here. It was in this choir group, we
I
went here.
never competed against anybody
Okay.
because um that wasn't why I was in it for a competition. Because I was getting paid to do it. I mean, I started
You
getting
are
paid
you
really.
are the only person that said they was getting paid at a young age. So I don't know unless they just didn't say it, but you're the only person that has said like, "Well, I was getting paid for this, that,
I
and
mean, I
third."
was
So
getting paid as a child to sing at weddings and sing, you know. So I'm like, I was always in a band. I mean, musicians don't do this for free. This is what how they live. So, you know, I've definitely sung in the choir in church, and you know that you don't get paid for those things. But as far as going out and singing at different places, you don't want to. You
yeah.
don't. I mean, it's art, but this is how you make a living.
Well, on kind of what you stay there. Stay on using art to make a living.
Hmm.
I feel like I see twofold sometimes. I see a lot of people that struggle with that.
Sure.
They feel like they get lowballed. They feel like the word exposure is thrown around a lot as if that's like currency. You know.
You have to be about your business.
Mm,
So if you get lowballed, meaning you don't get paid what you, that's because you've got to take care of your business. We've all been there in the beginning. We didn't get paid what we should have been getting paid, but it's a business. So you write a business plan. This is what I want to do. Da da da. Da. This is how much I'm going to charge for this, and you might have to charge different things for different people, different prices. But if you're going to put together a band, you got to pay your bandmates. You know, you got to pay somebody to play for you, play piano or guitar or whatever it is, because people make a living doing this.
you know, but I want to go a little further into that too. And this is just me from once again the outside looking at and only knowing of a few genres of music.
Sure.
I don't say a lot, but you know, I look when I first started talking to Karen and I realized how she conducted her interviews, her business and stuff she talked about. And in the back of my mind, I thought about people I knew that were in music. I'm never gonna. It's art, but I don't know. It's different. It's music, and I was thinking about how they struggle to quote unquote get some support or get some backing or get
Hmm.
a gig that they don't have to pay for. You
Right.
know, then I look at a lot of you guys who play instruments who you're not one trick ponies if that makes
Sure.
sense. And I think that has a lot to do with you being able to get paid for your art or your music as well. Not to say that it's a bad thing if you do this, of course, but if you only rapping and that's all you do,
Right.
um, it may not be an audience that wants to just come see you rap for whatever
You have
reason.
to get with the people that enjoy your music, your genre of music, or do different genres of music. I guess that's where you were going. Yeah, you have to learn how to do like I had someone to ask me, well, can you do like a country set? And I was like, country set? Yeah. I said, yeah. And I was like, I do know a few country songs. And I had written a couple and I asked the guys in the band, I was like, hey, can y'all play country? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. It was fun for us.
Yeah.
And, you know, nobody expected us to get up there and do country music, but we were very entertaining.
Mm.
And I have a southern accent, even though some people say they don't hear it, but when I'm singing country music, you can. And so it was fun. And we got booked again to do that, which was kind of cool because
Yeah,
I'm
that's dope.
like, nobody would have expected us to do this.
I think, see, even hearing you saying that, I think if I'm looking at it from the perspective of putting myself in some genre or some artist's shoes,
Hmm.
versus, I do think it's important to understand that you guys aren't getting paid because you're a hot sensation per se, right then and there.
Right.
I I would assume you're getting paid because y'all have done this for so long that it's kind of a guarantee they're gonna rock the crowd. You know what I'm saying? They can do this. They
Well, the
mesh well
thing is,
together.
you in any business, you have to go with what's needed. So I couldn't go to that audience that wanted me to sing country music and sing jazz. That's not what they were there for. They
Mm.
wanted to hear country music. You have to know your audience with any business. So I tell any business owner, whether you're a musician or whatever you own, whatever type of business you own, you need to know your audience. Who are you marketing yourself to, or your product, or whatever? Who is it that you're marketing to? And once you know that, you might have to make some tweaks here and there, but you know who so then that's where your money is.
That makes sense though. I think that's important to know and to do. I think too, just hearing talking to you and hearing your story and hearing people in the past couple of days' story as well. Being in and around art and the music so long, from the business side, the fun side, to back to the business side. I think you see so many things that you be around so many people that you soak up game from. You kind of know how to approach their business,
Hmm.
you know, at a certain time in your career,
Right.
and then like I said, and I think some things. It's not, I ain't gonna bash one particular genre. I think some artists sometimes are lazy in a sense of they're not doing all they can do to really put themselves out there as artists. Like, we haven't talked about you going to the studio, cutting a record yet, nothing like that. If you just strictly going off, I play this, I like to do this, I did this, I went to school for this, I was doing this. This is all work you putting in.
Right.
Versus no disrespect to anybody that
To
just
pay
only
your
doing this,
dues.
paying your
I
dues.
don't hear anybody saying that anymore because,
Perfect.
now we have, um, there's social media and you can do something and get a whole bunch of likes and people hear your music
Mm-hmm.
really quickly, but you haven't paid your dues. So you don't understand what it takes to sustain that. Okay. So, and you haven't grown as an artist.
Yep.
If you, I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody. If you can get it quickly because it's hard to pay those dues.
Yeah.
But you get it quickly and then you got to figure out what's next. So, then you haven't met people along the way that are, come up with you. So there's a difference there in the people that have had to pay their dues. But how long do you pay your dues? You know what I'm saying?
That's when I had a young crew on New Age Sounds, and that's something they were saying. They was like, we all for, hey, it's gonna be good exposure. And I think the guy was like in the middle, Xavier. He was like, my only thing is, we done did this venue about 7 times now. I feel like how
Right.
much more can we get exposed here? Like, we bring when we come here.
Correct.
And so it's like we understand the work to put in, but we done did it now. So
Correct.
let's talk something different. Um, and I think art is one of those. It's different genres of art. 'Cause I was telling Miss Karen that years ago, and I said, listen to her talk. I said, well, you get paid for all your gigs. She's like, yeah, I get paid for my gigs. This is different from me because I'm hearing people that never got paid. I'm hearing people that pay to go do gigs, and like this is backwards art,
Right.
backwards business.
Backwards business.
I'm like, I'm start telling my friends, I
What
should
are
just
you
go.
doing? What are you doing this for then?
I started telling them go do jazz. Like they getting paid in jazz. But I also understand it's not just about going to do jazz. It's being respected in your field. It's it's somebody that's knowing you from 10, 15 years ago at this gig because you did that there. And they're like,
Correct.
no, I
Yes.
watched her perform before. She's good at this. It's like I said, even somebody like Karen
And
Gordon
having
saying
someone to vouch for you.
that's important. That's important. I really think I always say sports and music is synonymous in the sense of that's the same thing with sports. Like
Sure.
people don't just make the team sometimes. It's like, oh, how you on the team? Well, this person said he could play. I watched him play against that person back in AAU when he was 14 years
I'll
old.
tell you a funny story. I lived in Tallahassee, Florida for a while. Um, and I was the chef at a jazz club. And nobody knew I could sing. I just wanted to be around the music. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and all this other stuff. So musicians come from Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a long time. Musicians come from Atlanta. They were like, and so my business name is Desserts by Latrell. And so they were like, Latrell, I know you have something sweet here. What is it? And I was like, okay, I made the brownies and I made everything. They were like, oh my goodness. So then fast forward like 2 years, and I'm helping an artist in the background because I do catering and stuff. So I'm helping an artist in the backstage or whatever, and they were like, Latrell. I mean, and these are like musicians that do studio. They play jazz. They play everywhere, and they were like, "What did you bake today?" And I'm like, And so then I'm like, I'm singing background today. What are you talking about? And they were like, singing.
Yeah, yeah, they
So
know.
you just, they know you. You have I have a reputation for baking, and some people know me for baking. Some people know me for selling eggs from my chickens. Some people know me for singing, and so that's so weird that every time I see this particular group, they're like, "What did you bake?" And I'm like, "Why are you following me? How did
You
you end
ever
up in Augusta?"
you ever been selling the stuff you bake and somebody say, "Why you not singing?" Like,
I used to have a show, Menia's Music Moments, and I would have my baked goods and I would sing. But yeah, uh, people either or. And if I go to my hometown, are you still singing? You still playing the flute? I know I'm baking now. Because I don't know, I just have so many different things that I
you wear a
do.
lot of
So
hats.
yeah, I
You
wear a
definitely
lot of
wear a lot of
hats. Yeah,
hats. When I was on the phone with Karen and she said, "Oh yeah, she does this. She farms." I'm like, "What? Back up, back up. She farms. Like, don't just
yeah.
throw it out there and then skip past that with other stuff." But yeah, it was a bunch of things you did. So I thought that was. But even that, in a sense, is like I feel like you approach someone that wears that many hats and does it well a different way
Mm-hmm.
than, like I said, a one trick pony, or
Right.
you not even one trick pony. That might be the bad word, but like you're just not respecting what they do yet. Like,
Right.
you gotta get that respect from people. Um, you mentioned like being younger and singing, and I always have this question. I'm pretty sure people are fans of this person, and I think one thing that set this particular individual apart, being younger and singing. Not that they didn't do well when they got older, but how much emotion and how you felt the song that this Michael Jackson I'm talking about. To be a kid and sing like
Yeah.
"Who's Loving You," and it's that one particular I like so much because there's so much
Right.
feeling in it. I'm like, well, it's no way he understood this song. It's just
No,
no way.
he didn't.
But he sung it as if like he
He
owned
also
the
had
song.
had someone making sure that he.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's funny. He definitely did. Don't get it wrong. It's a rap. That is funny. But and I say that, but I also there's downsides to some things with him. I know people want to agree with that, but I think of they all I do is think of you. It's a few groups that sung that. I feel like Troop sung it the best.
Yeah.
As I listen to the Jackson Five sing it, I don't really feel it like
Right.
how I feel it when Troop sung it. But I also
Mhm.
feel like True was a little older group at the time.
Right.
They understood the assignment for that
Right.
song. So it's certain songs like that. When you're performing, do you perform like solo pieces, new pieces, or do you kind of I don't you do remakes?
Yeah.
Is that the word for it?
I do what's best for the audience that I'm singing for. So, like when you have singing jazz, they're called jazz standards. It's a certain set of songs that you sing, and then R&B is a little different. Um, I've recently gotten to Southern Soul, which I love.
Can you, if you can you like break down what's different between the two? And I have a real question to follow that up. You said jazz, then you said R&B, then you said Southern soul.
Okay,
Like,
so jazz is a lot of the jazz standards that we sing came from musicals back in the day. I would say it's like Summertime. Um, that was from Porgy and Bess. Porgy and Bess, the song "I Love You, Porgy and Bess." Um, My Funny Valentine. All of those those are songs from the 40s. You know, but they were songs that people of color took and just changed it up, and you know, I, I was I was telling someone like My Funny Valentine was like My Funny Valentine, my funny, but we took that thing and just
yeah, give it some
changed
flavor.
it all around.
Yeah,
Just like A House Is Not a Home. You hear Luther Vandross sing it,
yeah, I love that
and
song.
then you hear Karen Carpenter singing, you're like, oh, well, you hear, it's. I mean, she sings it with feeling, or Dionne
Yeah,
Warwick. Dionne
it
Warwick
ain't Luther though.
sings it with feeling, but it's no way near what Luther Vandross did with that song.
Yeah, I like you going
I
somewhere. I
mean,
like that.
check
Yeah.
out Dionne Warwick. It's singing that song. She sings it beautifully, but it's different. Luther Vandross just took those things. So Jazz is that. It's just us adding our flavor to a lot of different things or whatever. And then if you think about ragtime, which how that is classical music that we kind of took and just made our own, put our own little swing to it. So R&B is rhythm and blues. We took church music and bent it up, changed the words, and made it. But if you listen to early R&B, it sounds just like a church song.
Hmm.
Southern soul is just that. It is some of it's raunchy, some of it's love songs, some of it's all of that. But that church beat is there because a lot of the musicians come from the church. That's
Right,
why it
right,
sounds
right,
like
right.
that. So I mean, I keep honing on that because that's where musicians come from. They bring that feeling with
Hmm.
them. And so yeah. But even with a raunchy song, you're like,
So I asked that question. I'm a big fan of this particular artist. My favorite artist, actually, of all time. Would you classify Anita Baker as? Because in
oh,
some aspects, people could say it's R&B. That's what they say now. I'm not saying that's what
R&B
it
and
is.
jazz.
Okay, okay,
Because she has a heavy jazz influence. If you Sarah
definitely. If I feel like it's in a band, I feel like every song she made was a live band there. I feel like that at
right.
least.
Rochelle Farrell is my favorite singer.
Okay, I like that.
Um, some people say she's jazz, some people say she's R&B, some people, but it's like because they add their own feeling to it.
So what artists would we do? What we consider to be Southern soul?
Anthony Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
But you
got you.
know, like I don't know if you hear some like the trail ride songs, some of the line dance songs, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But Anthony Hamilton is definitely, Southern soul.
Angie
Um,
Stone.
no, she's
Whoa.
more neo soul.
Neo soul. Okay.
Yeah.
See, it's different souls. I don't even know how many souls it is
I
out here.
know,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Exactly. But that Southern soul is very, very different. It's like they have their own. My dad is into Southern soul, but they have their own YouTube. If you just put in Southern soul on YouTube, it's like hours and hours of music. People, artists you haven't heard of, lots of things.
Okay. What would you define? I say Sam Cooke Change Gonna Come. Would that be Southern Soul, or would that be R&B? Would that be
I mean, you have to think about the times too. Wow.
that'd be a good conversation to have?
But
When
if
did we
you,
start some of
but
these
Sam
genres?
Cooke sang with the Soul Stirrers. I don't. Have you heard the Soul
No, I
Stirrers?
never heard
That's
that
it. He
before.
started out with a gospel group,
Mm,
very, very gospely. And you just listen to what he's singing. Oh, that's a good one. But I guess I don't know. I have to think
it's
about that.
hard. I only asked that question 'cause I know that song gives you the feel of a Southern Soul because I'm just thinking,
They didn't
I
have
don't know
that
where he's
genre
from.
back then, though.
Yeah, but the South
So
went
at
through a lot
that
of.
time, it might have been categorized as rhythm and blues. I don't know.
It could be that. It could be that because you think about change coming, so you kind of sad.
But if you go back and listen, because he also did my one of my favorite Sam Cooke songs is about a rooster. He's talking about a rooster and what the rooster is doing, and you have to the red rooster. You have to listen to that. But Sam Cooke is a very soulful singer. I mean, like Otis Redding. Otis Redding is from Macon, Georgia,
Yeah, I like Otis Redding.
but at that time that wouldn't have been Southern soul because that, like I said, that wasn't a thing then.
Does is it more about the voice? Is it both about
I
the
think it's
instrumental?
the music makeup. I really do. For any music, like country music has a twang, has a country twang to it. Um, Classical, you know what that sounds like. Jazz, you have the scatting, you have a certain instrumentation
Hmm.
for country, a certain instrumentation for bluegrass, and all of that.
Well, like, would you consider like most ballads to be R&B then?
Not necessarily.
It's just I'm thinking about the sounds now. I'm trying to group everything together, but I know it
No,
can't be
it,
done
it
that way
can't be.
though.
No, it can't be
Yeah.
done that way because, I mean, there are certain artists that cross over. There's
Right,
certain,
right.
you never
Well,
know.
you sing a lot of things. You sing different things. So,
Yeah, I do.
if somebody know you from one, they might hear the other genre in what you're singing in country, but because they listen to your music.
Right,
Quote unquote Beyonce now, like she got this other thing she doing, and she still
right.
got the R&B. Then okay, so that makes sense. I want to get into because you are performing. What time and what day you performing on at Austin Hearts?
Sunday at 1:30.
Sunday at 1:30. You and me on Karen Gordon stage,
Yes,
correct?
on the jazz stage.
Jazz stage. And what can people expect when they come to your show? What can
It'll
they
be a
expect?
very intimate setting. I'll have a guitar player, so it's just being a guitar player, and we'll be singing jazz.
Okay, so it'll be two of y'all on stage.
Yeah,
So that's real intimate.
yeah.
It's you can't hide. It's just
Cannot hide.
it's
No,
no solos. It's kind of just you and that person. Y'all just
sure.
rocking out. How long your set is?
It's 25 minutes.
Okay, that's a long time you're on stage with just one person.
No, it's not. It goes by so quickly.
yeah, this is coming from somebody who been doing this for years and years and years, right? Uh, I
Yeah.
I can't imagine 25 minutes just singing in front of strangers.
Right.
I mean, I guess to you they're not strangers because you come in and do a job. You're gonna capture everybody. I'm sure. Um, so what's that feeling like when you go on a stage like now that you've been doing this for a while? Uh, do you get stage fright? Do you get
I mean,
frightened at
I
all?
get a little nervous until that first note comes out, and then I'm good. But and I'm not nervous like, oh, I can't sing, I can't do this. But just like, oh, I hope it sounds okay. I hope the sound is all right. I hope the musician is good. I hope everything is good. So yeah.
What about like in your younger career or when you first started? Is there a particular show or any show that you feel like this made me perform better as life went on, or maybe you had a bad night, or
I remember when I was in college, I got all dressed up. I had a professor that asked me to sing at something that was some sort of assembly we were having. I got all dressed up in my ball gown and came out, and I was like, "Ooh, that was a wrong song to sing." But she asked me to sing a particular song, and I should have done something more upbeat, but that
yeah?
wasn't where I was at the time. So,
What song was it?
it was what's the name of that song? "Take It From Me, Take It From Me." It was a Donny Hathaway song. I can't remember the name of it right now.
I guess I'm curious. What was the move for the night? Like, what was the
I
move?
mean, it was a bunch of young college students or whatever. I'm singing, about the world is different and, things are going to get better. And, I'm like, oh, so Donnie, hang
Yeah.
on in there. Things are going to get, I was like, oh gosh.
If you could do it over, what would you have sung instead of that?
Some Mary J. Blige or something,
Yeah, you can't go on Mary J. Blige. I love Mary J. Blige too, actually.
Yeah.
That's R&B.
Yeah,
She's definitely R&B,
definitely
right?
R&B. Now, I
Okay.
should have done that. Something that was out at the time, or brand new heavies or something.
Yeah, yeah.
For my next performance, I told my band, I was like, listen, and we were just college students, so I was like, we need to do some brand new heavies, and we did, and it was great.
Okay.
It was great.
I was really just curious about that. Like, I wonder, like, because talking to you guys and people that I'm interviewing, y'all already been doing this for a while, so y'all done made y'all mishaps. Y'all done
It still
learned.
happens though. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but some just stick with you more when you're
Yeah.
younger. Like,
And I've learned now. So if I have allergies or something, change the key. Don't try to sing all those high notes. You're not gonna make it. It's gonna be bad for you. Change the key of the song.
what music had the most influence on you? What genre of music?
Oh, R&B, jazz, gospel, all together. Yeah.
I always ask this questions towards the end though, but like group wise, what's your favorite group of all time?
Group. Ooh. Oh, I don't have a favorite group.
But just name one you like. Maybe it's not your
I
favorite, but
love Brand New Heavies.
brand new heavies. I've never heard of them. I must not know. I know I don't know music anyway, but I never heard of them.
Check them out.
Okay. After that, who will be another one?
A group.
Yeah. Oh, a
A
singer.
singer.
Yeah.
Oh, Rochelle Farrell. Top down. Yeah.
What song she sung?
Um, you may not know her music.
Probably not.
Oh,
Don't
because
sound
she's
familiar.
jazz. Kind of jazzy.
Jazzy.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
I just
Um,
missed that era. I was born in 1990, so it's kind of like,
so she came out in the '90s. Check her out, Rochelle
yeah.
Farrell.
But 90s R&B kind of took over. I feel like around that time. I know a
I
lot of
mean,
SWV.
I told you in the beginning, I started out singing like Whitney Houston stuff. So
I know some in
I
Houston.
was just Whitney Houston that I could do Whitney Houston left, right, up, down. And so my vocal coach was like, you need to find your way. So that's when I started listening to jazz to try to kind of change and do some ad libs of my own,
Yeah.
not hers, and then find my own voice.
I do want to ask a few questions now. Now I'm thinking about because you're on the jazz stage. How important is it to is if at all to set yourself apart? And if it is important, how do you do so when you have a bunch of different acts all doing the same genre? Like how do you set yourself
Number
apart on the
one, I think
stage?
there's room for everyone. Um, I do what I do. I love what I do. And it's important for you to feel what you're singing. So I don't do what I do to try to stand out from anyone.
Okay. And then also with jazz, like how what type of jazz? Like is it are there different
Yeah, there are
types?
different kinds of jazz. So there's straight ahead jazz, which is that stuff from the 40s, you know.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.
Don't mean a thing
Do
if
up.
you don't do, so that kind of stuff. Then you have your like um I have an answer to your question. Frankie Beverly and
I
Maze.
like Frankie. There we
Earth,
go.
Wind, and Fire.
Man,
The Elements. I don't know. I mentioned them earlier, but yeah, those are my
a young
favorites.
kid yesterday. I was, and I'm not he young to me, so I know. Yeah, we all, But he was like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm like, bro, you're 21. But that just goes to tell you,
No,
show
Earth, Wind,
you
and Fire is
how
like amazing.
impactful they are.
Listen to the lyrics of some of those songs that they wrote. But anyway, so yeah,
And
it's
he was
some
just talking about placement. He kept saying music placement, the instrument, because they're a band. He was just talking about that. I'm not
yeah.
knowing. I'm like, you got it, big boy. You got it.
Just listen. I mean, just yeah, he's correct. Amazing.
I might put some Earth, Wind, and Fire on and just, but I think I'm gonna. I do like if I'm going to somewhere in music, jazz is my preferred choice. I just feel
What
like you
type of
can't go
jazz?
wrong.
Who?
See, I look at Anita Baker as jazz. I
Yeah.
love Anita
So
Baker,
then, do
so
you like Kim? I like Kim.
Kim is cool. I like him a little bit.
Yeah.
I listened to him when I was younger. My dad listened to him a little bit, but and I don't know. I think Anita Baker. I think it's calming music to me.
Yeah.
So I like. And it don't have to be her per se, but in jazz, I like jazz
She is
music that.
very, very difficult. Her were difficult for me as a youngster. And I think because I didn't know it about With All My Heart, I Love You, Baby, Stay With Me.
Yeah.
I did.
You know, even
I,
I don't sing, but as I listen to it, even today, I still capture more stuff. Even it's something small, I know, but like on "Give You the Best I Got," she say, "I bet everything on my wedding ring," and I
yeah. You're
don't
like,
think people realize
what?
how that's a lot to say.
Yeah.
I'm really giving you the best that I got.
Or I apologize.
That's my favorite song. My favorite song.
What you apologizing for? What?
Man,
Okay,
come on.
well. Say, oh, I get it
Yeah,
now.
but even in that, it's like it's even from a man perspective, I feel like I learned from that song, but I can do that. I can also apologize as well. Like I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm wilding out for acting this way towards you.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm starting to listen to some other artists from like the 70s. Like listened to the Shaka Khan songs that nobody
Mm,
knows. Patrice Rushen. I mean, like these are people who are like true musicians who are being rediscovered.
yeah.
And I listened to a podcast with her the other day, and I was like, wow, she's pretty amazing.
You know, in the last episode I did, we talked about Shaka Khan. We kind of compared her version of Sweet Thing to Mary J. Blige's version
Yeah.
of Sweet Thing. And I think the guys, once again, they're a band. So they were saying, like, sonically, they probably prefer the Shaka Khan because of the instruments and how, and you feel like it's live. They said most people say well, I don't say most, but they prefer the voice of Mary J. Blige just because that song fit her. But they said like sonically, Shaka
Really?
Khan's, it went with it. That's what they were saying. Just me personally though, I'm a big Mary J. Blige fan, but when I did hear the Shaka Khan version, I'm like, well, it's a little different. I feel like it had a little
Yeah.
more soul in there.
Right.
I think Mary J. Blige is very big R&B, but that's when you go into like I think it's even pockets. I think it's pockets of like
Right.
jazz and R&B, and it's a pocket
I
there where
love
you
Mary J.
can
Blige, but
blend that as well.
yeah, and I love her version, but I can't say, and I love both versions for different
Yeah,
reasons. But yeah, Shaka did that thing.
that's a different kind of feel of music as well.
But
That
there are
R&B.
lots of different artists that I love. In Dombey, Jill Scott,
That's
Erica.
Jill Scott, neo soul,
All those are neo soul artists.
Erica Badu too.
Uh-huh.
You know,
listen to the words of the song. They wrote those songs. It was so cool.
can I ask you about Erica Badu? Like, what's your thoughts on her? Like,
I think
as an
she's a
artist.
heck of an artist. And I think that sometimes the people misunderstand the artist from the person.
Mhm.
They're two different things. I'm different. Some people are different on stage than they are in real life. And um, I listened to her in a podcast the other day. She is like paving the way for younger artists to
Mhm.
come, and she's like an auntie to them,
Yeah.
and she recognizes her place. So I can respect that.
I just like the fact that I had to look back on it. I'm thinking when I first heard of her, I don't know when she first came out. When I first heard of her though,
In the
had
90s.
97, I would say
Yeah,
96, 97.
97. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think about that from like '03 and just what she did in them 6 years. Now she did more, of course, but
Right.
just in that span, I think about just from On and On to Love of My Life is two different brands of
Then she
music, two
grew up and her
different.
life changed and she started singing about other things. She was a DJ.
Even Window seat. Oh, it's just like it's just some
Yeah,
songs that like I feel like imagine. I mean, everybody got their own thing, but just imagine a set from her on a jazz stage and how she can, because her lyrics is enough to be in any category.
right,
It's just about how she gonna switch it up
right.
and what she gonna
And I
say.
mean, I think like her and Jill Scott are poets first. And so you listen
That's
to their
another. That's
poetry
another
and
pocket
yeah,
that
you
we didn't
listen.
even get into.
Yeah. I was thinking about lift every voice and sing the other day, and I was like, I should sing that. But that was
What
first
made you think
written,
about that?
huh?
What made you think about that song?
Um,
What you was going through that day? That made you think about that
all the
song.
things that are happening right now, and I just think about why that poem was written. It was written as a poem. It wasn't written as a song. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so they kind of like crammed all these words into the space, a certain space of music, and so it's a very difficult to sing song to sing because it was written as a poem and not a song. So
When you say something that's difficult to sing, right? What do you mean when you say? I know
I
what
mean, it's not
difficult
difficult
mean.
for me. I can sing the song, but most people have a hard time singing it, and there are a lot of words because it's a poem. There's like three stanzas.
Well, I was going to go back to the Anita Baker part because you said that her songs were hard to sing as well. What's hard about
They
those
were hard for
songs?
me as a youngster
Oh,
because
okay,
I had
okay,
not
okay.
experienced love. I had not experienced those things that she was singing about.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh, what is she singing about? She just, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't feel it.
Nah,
But people
man.
would want me to sing Sweet Love at their wedding. And I'm like,
Can I think that's I got a good question. I know you gonna answer it well, but like talk about that, like how your lens or how you view art changes once you experience love.
oh.
Because you think you have the love for the art.
Yeah, but yeah, when you fall in love, it's like, oh my gosh, everything you just let go when this person is amazing and he just gives you everything, you give him everything. And as a musician, and you sing these words, with all my heart I love you baby, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel that, I know it, I can do it, I can do it, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was curious that because like I said, I know as artists, y'all fall in love with art,
Yeah.
but then y'all fall in love in real life. And, young, you fall in love with art at young
Yeah.
age, but then you become a teenager or young adult, you fall in love
You
for real.
think
You
you
think you
know,
know what love is.
and then but
But
then when you fall in love with yourself, you can really express yourself as an artist,
yeah.
a visual artist, whatever type of art you do.
And that's why I was curious on like I said, I feel like it's like a cycle a little bit. So like you fall you think you in love with something, and you're doing it, you're putting the work in, cool, you singing here and there, you talented. Life happens, you start to experience new things, whether you go new
Right.
places, whatever. You could, and the fall in love could be with anything. It could be the city, a guy, a man, a woman,
The other
whatever.
day I was watching a podcast, not it was an interview, excuse me, with Aretha Franklin, and she was talking about one of the songs that she wrote, Daydreaming, and I'm thinking of you. He's the
Mm.
kind of guy that would make me say, "Hey, baby, let's get away." And I was like, Let's go somewhere far where we don't care. I know it. Okay, but I get it. I was just singing the words. I want to be where I want to be. Where you? Oh, I want to be near you. And I
Yeah.
was like, I get it. But you can't understand that. Those are
Yeah.
just words. You're just singing the notes if you've never experienced it. And my vocal coach told me that day one, my first one, and I was like, he don't know what he's talking about. I get it.
And I don't know art like that, but I'm thinking from a vocal coach standpoint or whoever teaches any kind of art, with instrument, whatever instrument. You know how sometimes in movies, I don't want to use it in movies, where they rely heavily on jazz and just those times
Yeah.
of the blues and bands and things like that. And you don't realize how much like when they're saying like, well, you don't know about that yet, so you're not gonna sing it like me yet because you don't know about that yet. You're
Right.
not gonna play like me yet because you ain't been up through life yet. And that's real. You know, I
Right.
feel like that's real. Even you saying like you throw out singing let every voice and sing. The person that might sing that song at 8, 12,
Right.
13, 14, may be different at 34 and 35, 45, 50 when you done been through life.
Right. I mean that if you know, there's a part in there that says, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears.
Mm,
What? I get it now. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, but there's that parts of that song that people don't understand. But I understand why he wrote that. Remember,
yeah.
that song was written years ago.
The thing about everything we're saying with the last 5 segments we have talked to as well, that somebody had to write this as well, already thinking that though. So we talking about the singing aspect, and I don't know if you write it now, but I
Yeah.
always think about as art as well. Just imagine being that writer and then having to pick that singer to like really illustrate like what I meant when I wrote it.
Right.
So imagine you singing this and you run into Anita Baker and it's like, oh, perfect. Or you run into Tony Braxton or you run into Whitney Houston. And now I see why back in the day so many different artists sung so many songs. Like, well, who could sing it better? That's who we
Right.
giving it to.
Right.
So
You
I
think
like
about
that.
somebody like Smokey Robinson who wrote thousands of songs. He was just writing songs.
I remember watching The Temptations for the first time thinking like, why did he give The Temptations My Girl? That was insane. But I understand it.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have been the same
I
without him.
understand it now. But
Yeah.
then I was like, yeah, couldn't be me. But also my girl wouldn't be my girl. I've heard it sung by different groups. It wasn't the same.
But he can sing it. He could still sing it and do
He
whatever
could
if
do
he
his own
wanted.
thing with it, yeah. It's a song. But
But they, no,
you
they
know,
did.
in the singing, some I feel like some artists just own songs. Like
Right.
people, 1,000 people sing this song. I own it.
Okay, so
Not.
when you think of the song "Respect," who do you think of?
I think Aretha Franklin.
But Otis Redding wrote it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, okay, but he recorded it and then all that, but Aretha put her on it.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
anybody could write this song, and that's we need
Dolly
that.
Parton sings "I Love You" great. I will always love you great, but Whitney Houston just
Right. It's her song.
she's like, okay, give
It's
me the
her song
money.
now. That's how it goes.
Right.
And I think I like that's why I like remakes sometimes. I like remake here and there. I like to know it's not a remake, and I'm like, okay, well, let me see what I like better. I know it's probably not the same on a grand aspect of things, but I think of music, people make the world go round.
Yes.
I really, me personally, I like this. I like this. I don't know if it's stylistics or stylistics. I don't know, but
Stylistic.
I like them. But I really like the Jackson 5 version. I'm not gonna lie, I do. But
Really?
the grown me likes their version.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
okay, okay.
it just depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm gonna call my kids, I play the Michael Jackson version because they relate to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But they both said different word, but they sung it. One is smoother, one got more feeling.
Right.
But it's Michael Jackson, so we know it got more feeling. I think he just approached every song
Yeah.
like that. He must really them whoopings really
And I
hurt him.
think as
So
an artist, you have to approach your art that way.
yeah,
You have to figure out who you are as an artist. And then the music that you create, the visual art that you create, the podcast that you create, all those things, they make up who you are. And those things will be great.
yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Well, I want to make sure I say this again. So your stage is going to be
Sunday,
Sunday at 1.
1:30
1:30, and you're on the jazz
on a
stage. It's a
jazz
lot of
stage.
stages there too, so I gotta make sure. So Sunday 1:30 jazz stage.
Yes.
You'll be there.
Me and
25
Chester.
minutes set.
Yeah.
You said what?
Menia
Oh,
Chester.
okay, you said me and Chester. I'm like,
No,
whoa, whoa. Yeah, me and Chester. Um, it's not your first time performing Arts and Hearts, is it?
no.
Okay, so what's that experience like? You performing at Arts and Hearts in the past, and then like how you plan to approach it this year?
Um, it's very interesting. I did the Star Spangled Banner last year. I opened up with the Star Spangled Banner. But the year before that, I performed on a jazz stage. And then I didn't, I'm on the board of the Arts Council as well.
Oh, okay,
So I performed um, the Star Spangled Banner, and I did it twice. I did it one weekend at the Hispanic Arts Festival, and then excuse me, the Hispanic Festival, and then the next week I did it at Arts in the Heart, and I didn't sing on the jazz stage. So this is I'm coming back this year.
got
Yay!
you. But I like that. It seems like it's gonna be more intimate. It's just gonna be
Yeah,
y'all two on
yeah,
stage.
and it
So it's
means
like,
more to me because I kind of understand the whole arts community in Augusta
yeah.
now. So yeah,
Well, I'm rooting for you. I think I know you'll do well.
I'm
Um,
excited about
as
it.
I interview people, like I feel like I get a glimpse of who they are before I can hear the music, which I
Yeah,
think is amazing. Then I can get blown away by the music. Only
yeah,
person that interview that I seen perform was Tyra and the Snacks, and that was years ago, and that was by accident. But they did tear it down. So I'm looking to see some good
yay!
music this year. It's just so hard because it's so much talent here, so much talent
Absolutely,
here.
and I'm rooting for everybody.
Yeah, I think I talked to somebody yesterday, and she said that she was like, I think some of the best thing about what we do, what y'all do is seeing your peers in the stands, and then afterwards coming down, they saying, "Yo, y'all rocked it," because deep down, like you respect your peers, you want that respect as well. You want to
Right.
know like somebody who do what I do, really seeing the work I put in, and I respect, they respect me. It's like it's paying off. And then also, she said even if it was something small, like I think she said, "Yo, I'm a bass player." Not me. She was saying that
Yeah,
somebody
sure,
said,
sure,
"I'm a
sure.
bass player." Tell your bass player that if he do X, Y, Z, it'll be easier to keep up with. Because I noticed that, and she was like, she told me, she said the bass player was like, "Yo, I used to hate doing this song because I never could keep up. Now I can," and I
Yeah,
think that's dope that y'all can all like watch each other and just see little small things that like I couldn't see because the bass player probably sounded good to me because I don't know music. So I
yes,
thought that was good. I try to compare the sports as much as I can. I think I like that most about the art world. But I know it's
right.
always pros and cons and stuff like that. But I do like to talk to you guys. I like to learn a lot from you guys. And like I said, talking to people who study music and then actually do music around music, been around music,
Sure.
it's just different. It's
Yeah.
different. You said a lot of names that I never heard of. So now I got to go back and do some research. And I wrote names down and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know it's I'm the guy who knows what's in front of me. What they put on the top 10. What's on Winston Park? What's on the
Yes.
radio? That's what I know.
Yeah.
But now I can go in and research. You said that band was called, what was that band called? Your favorite band?
Which Rochelle Farrell?
No, your favorite group. Brand, I don't know
Oh,
what's
Brand
band.
New Heavies.
Brand New Heavies. Write that down. I'll get back to you on that. Okay. But yeah, man, I like talking to you. This was great. I definitely I plan on being there every day of the festival. So
Yay.
Sunday
Don't wear
one
yourself
i
out.
I'm trying not to, man.
And eat something good while you're there.
Yeah, it's gonna be like them lines be so long. I don't know. I might
Yeah.
I might consume more music than I do food.
Yes.
So I'd rather just sit there and enjoy it than be standing in line. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely appreciate you for coming through and
Thank you
and,
so
and,
much.
and talking music with me. Even though I know I can't talk it that well, but I think
No,
you
you did
answer questions
great.
well.
No, this is great.
I appreciate it. And nothing but the best to you. And More Masters Podcast, be out. Clap it up.
Thank you.